Hello everyone, today's horror movie reviews I'll be reviewing is Basketcase from 1982. Basketcase was directed by Frank Henenlotter. He also did the screenplay. He also directed movies like Brain Damage and Frankenhooker, other cult classics. Basketcase was produced by Arnold H. Brock, Edgar Levins, and Tom Kay. The movie stars Kevin Van Hentrick, Terry Susan Smith, and Beverly Bonner. The movie's about two brothers that were born Siamese twins. They joined forces to stalk the physician who separated them at birth. The movie was released on April 7, 1982. This is another weird, bizarre horror movie, and it's another, basically low-budget grindhouse horror movie. And it's also another, what the fuck did I just watch? The two brothers are what make this movie. This movie is really whacked down, very exploitated. It's very over the top with its gore and special effects. Dwayne may look innocent and humble. When he's all alone with his brother, it shows that he's a weird guy and he's onto something very mysteriously. Despite Dwayne helping his brother wanting revenge on the doctors who separated them, Dwayne really wants to have a normal life. He wants to have friends and a girlfriend. But his twin brother gets separation anxiety anytime he wants to do things without him. And his brother does not understand boundaries, space, and he won't let Dwayne have a social life. People ask Dwayne what's in the basket because he always carries it around, but he won't tell anyone. Who could blame him? I don't really know who will believe him that his brother's in that basket. The only way he will tell someone if he gets drunk. The part when he's at the bar with Casey, played by Beverly Bonner, she asks him what's in that basket, and he says, my brother. At first, she thinks he's joking, but once he tells her everything, she's like, something's not right, and she's feeling uncomfortable and feeling awkward around Dwayne. Who could blame her? The girl Dwayne falls for, Sharon, wants to show him New York City and the sights. She's a secretary at a doctor's office and offers to be his tour guide for New York City. It's funny when she asks Dwayne, have you been to Times Square, Rockefeller Center, the Statue of Liberty, and the World Trade Center? He responds no because he's been too busy trying to kill people. Despite going on a date, he said he only asked her out to take her around the city so he can be around her. Mission accomplished. It worked. Sharon's your basic average girl who's waiting and looking for Mr. Right. She does care and take an interest in Dwayne, but not sure how she would take the news that this deformed person in the basket is her twin brother. It just hit me, her character's name is Sharon. Was Frank Henenlotter going for and paying tribute to Sharon Tate? Makes you think a little bit. The flashbacks of Dwayne's father was such an ungrateful asshole. I mean, okay, yes, he was not happy how the twin boys were bored. One was bored regular, the other one was bored deformed. At the same time, he should have learned to love his kids, no matter what they looked like. Unlike most horror movies where you see breasts or cleavage, for once you see a man's penis, but I don't think this is not the first horror movie to show a man's penis, not that I'm aware of. What's funny about this movie, where they shot this movie, I don't live that far from where they made this movie, where they shot scenes in Glen Falls, upstate New York. One day I hope to make a vlog video on this. The stop-motion animation effects are really cool and awesome, very well done. Despite director Frank Henenlotter said it was exhausting and frustrating at times filming the stop-motion animation because of how hard, difficult, and complicated it can be to film stop-motion animation effects. What's also funny is director Frank Henenlotter had no idea what he was doing when he was making this movie. He said the idea just came to him while making this movie, partly because it was his first movie he ever directed. So basically you can say there was no script to this movie, and he did what came to mind depending on the budget. And he said he experimented a lot with this movie. Unlike a lot of movies where the studios interfere with film directors, Frank Henenlotter had a lot of control of this movie to a certain degree, but only depending on the small budget, what he could do and not do. It just shows small budget movies work and are more effective than bigger budget movies. The smaller the budget, the better the movie is. Frank Henenlotter also said he did not expect this movie to be a hit or develop a cult following after all these years later. As I wrap up this video, here's a funny story, but I also hope it's not an insult at the same time. In 2013, I saw and semi-met Kevin Van Hentrick, the actor of this movie, at Schiller Theater, New Jersey, but very briefly. Me and my father were walking around. He had a basket, I doubt which is the same basket from the movie with the DVD trilogy of all three Basketcase movies, and I asked my dad, what was this movie, and he told me what it was. I just felt bad and hoped that he did not feel insulted, Kevin Van Hentrick, for me not knowing what the movie was. After meeting him, my dad showed me the movie, and I loved it right away. There are two sequels to this movie, but I've never seen them, but we'll check them out at some point in the future for curiosity to see how they did compared to this first movie. So that was my review of Basketcase. Like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get the latest updates on my YouTube channel, and I will see you tomorrow for another horror movie review. Stay tuned.